Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have a diamond in the rough I'd like you guys to meet. His name is Carson Steen. He is a defensive lineman out of Wisconsin River Falls. Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice meeting you too.
When it comes to guys, playing in the WEAC, playing in your conference, you get a lot of great talent coming out of that conference, even at the Division III level. And early on in the season, I did a very bold thing and said, guys like you and your teammate who I interviewed earlier, Dylan Brown, were some of, if not the top prospects coming out of the Division III level this season. I don't know how you take that comment, but Carson, go ahead, introduce yourself, and we'll get started. Okay.
All right. Well, hi, I'm Carson Steen. I'm from Big Lake, Minnesota, small town. I currently play at Wisconsin River Falls. I'm a fifth year senior, and I play D line.
Pretty simple enough.
Yeah.
Been there for a while from small town, which it's kind of the way it goes sometimes, small town guys, small town, school and all that. Carson, hopefully we'll have some time to shed some light and figure out this story of yours and what kind of player you are. Again, like you had mentioned, from Big Lake in Minnesota, Big Lake High School.
Mhm.
So with it being a small town, there's really only one high school. So
Yeah.
talk about your high school, man. I mean, talk about the early days of you being a football player.
Uh, well, how early do you want me to go back? High school or younger than that?
Let's start. Let's start with that. How long have you been playing?
I've been playing football since about second grade. So was that
Okay,
8, 9 years old? We started tackling it. Yeah, second grade, we started tackle football. And ever since then, every fall, I've just played football.
gotcha. So since second grade, so obviously a whole lot of experience there. And going back to Big Lake High School, um, give me maybe one of your best memories from back in those days, man. I know it's been a while, but
Oh, yeah.
anything
Uh,
anything you want to share?
Best memory from high school would have been my actually senior year would have been it was towards the end of the season. We played St. Cloud Apollo. We were down 20 to I think we were down three scores at halftime. We haven't scored a point all game. I was with all my buddies that I've been playing with for 10 years now, and we all just said we're just gonna play for each other and just see what we can do here. We came back, we won like 42 to 20. They didn't score another touchdown, I'm pretty sure. And that was core memory for me senior year, just playing for my guys.
Cool. So came back and walloped that opponent there.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, nice. Has it always been football for you? I mean, have you done any other sports during your time or what?
I played baseball up until my freshman year of high school. And then I also played lacrosse while I was doing baseball too, up until my junior year. And then we didn't have it senior year because of COVID.
Gotcha. So you said baseball early on, like up into your freshman season?
Yeah, yep, from like T-ball all the way up.
Wow. And then lacrosse somewhat throughout high school, which I'm
Yep.
thinking I don't know, man. I mean, for a guy your size, I mean, what'd you do? Were you like the goalie or are you out there
Uh,
running around?
no, I was on attack. That's like, much about lacrosse?
No.
So there's like midfielders and they go all over the field. And then there's like attack, which is like offensive guys on your team, but you can be on the opponent side of the field. You just can't cross the center line.
Hmm.
So I was down there just waiting to get the ball and go score.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And Carson, you're a pretty big guy, man. So I mean, back in your day, I mean, were you always defensive lineman or did you play any O line as well?
No, I played O-line all the way until college, actually. I played both sides.
So, obviously you're a defensive lineman now.
Hmm.
When you were being recruited, I mean, how did that work? I mean, were people seeing you as like an offensive lineman, defensive lineman? Was that more of a coin flip?
I'd say for
How
the
did that work out?
most, I'd say for the most part, it was defensively because that's where I registered all my stats, and that's what people knew me as a defensive man. I was
Gotcha.
okay at offensive line. My passion was the defensive line, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's always nice to be the aggressor,
Yeah.
of course. So obviously ended up at Wisconsin River Falls. Talk about how you landed there versus perhaps somewhere else. I mean, what really won you over with that school?
Yeah, I went on a few visits my junior year up to like University of North Dakota up in Grand Forks a couple times, and I thought I liked it up there. And then late in my senior year, one of my buddies was already committed here to play. He was coming on his final visit, and he was like, "Just come, he made me come here and take a look." And I met with Walker and Wiss, and I fell in love with the coaching staff, and they got this brand new facility. And I felt at home, so I just
Cool.
committed here.
And again, like I had mentioned before, really one of the most competitive conferences in all of Division III, where you see guys really regularly at this point over the past several seasons that are getting noticed. Talk
Hmm.
about your conference there, and maybe your school in particular. I mean, I know it's been challenging at times because I mean you're heading up against some of the best opponents in all the country. So
Yeah.
talk about it for a bit.
No, I about this league, I truly agree. I truly think that it's you have to show up ready to fight. It's an 18 round fight. Any Saturday, any given team can win in this conference. It's toughest competition I've ever played in my life. Everybody's good. If you just got to be on point.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Dylan some time ago. I mean, it's kind of like being in like the Big Ten of
Yeah.
Division III. I mean, you got some tough opponents there for sure.
Oh
So,
yeah. I've heard it's
um,
called the SEC of D3. That's what I've heard too.
well, I guess it depends on who you ask. I was
Yeah.
thinking more so geographically. So,
Oh yeah.
uh,
Absolutely.
but anyway, so let's talk about you in River Falls. So again, defensive lineman. And so you come in, you're recruited as a defensive lineman, and it seems as if, at least when I look at some of your, statistic production, it
Hmm.
seems as if you've been playing out the gate. So talk about your overall experience on that defensive line.
Yeah, I've been in the rotation since my freshman year. I got a decent amount of reps freshman year. See, sophomore year was a little more than freshman year, and then junior and senior year, I've been the starter, getting all the reps.
And dude, as of right now, last that I checked on your stat sheet, um,
Hmm.
114 tackles for a
Oh,
defensive
really? Oh,
lineman
wow.
for your career. So that's pretty decent. It's pretty
Yeah.
decent to be able to say that you've been a part of taking so many people down to the ground. So
Yeah, I just get so used to it, I don't even realize it anymore.
well, that's a pretty high accomplishment. So let's talk about it. So, and so now when we talk about you and your experience, again, you've been there, you've been part of the of that rotation for a while, been a
Mhm.
starter for a while, and then also kind of again, you said fifth year senior, a
Mhm.
guy who's been there and maybe perhaps looked at as one of the leaders on your team. How do you take that role as a guy who is the veteran in that locker room?
I love it. I mean, it's challenging at times because I don't even realize like I've just been here doing it so long, I forget that it's my last season sometimes, and I'm like, I just gotta leave these younger guys with an impression of what the standard is for this D line on this team, and I just every day I just gotta start practice with that and end it every day.
Gotcha. So let's look at you as a prospect. I mean, when we look at you as a prospect, a legitimate guy that scouts really need to get to know, we're looking at you as a guy who can, fill in a gap, take care of your assignment. What do you feel separates you from perhaps other people that play your position? What do you feel is your best trait as a prospect?
I definitely feel my best trait is being able to hold a double team and then work laterally down the line, fly to the ball. That's where I make almost 90% of my plays is fly, down the line, beating a guy or two.
Well, it's obviously, when we talk through some of those stats and all, I mean, obviously, you are working laterally, of course, in that conference, you get a lot of people that are trying to run the ball
Yes.
and they can't get past this big guy in Carson Steen. So, um, what is your current height and weight for people that are watching? I want you to be able
Currently,
to,
I am 6'5", and I was 300 pounds yesterday before my lift.
so, so 6'5", 300, you said?
Yes.
So, it is very rare. When you look at the grand scheme of guys that slip through the cracks and get to a Division III school, that a dude like you, 6'5", 300, is playing at the Division III level. That to me is just absurd. And so I personally feel like that sets you apart from a lot of people because, dude, a lot of people that play your position at Division III are like 270,
Hmm.
6'2", stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that puts you in a certain category where perhaps people need to see you as a legitimate prospect that could match up against a lot of other talent. So
Hmm.
um, I don't know. I don't know if there's any more that you wanted to say about that, but that to me is a big deal.
Yeah, I don't really have much more to add to that. You kind of nailed it on the head there.
So again, let's continue to talk about your team and really how you fit in. So, talk about some of your teammates there. Who has impressed you the most there for River Falls? Who has impressed you the most as a teammate throughout your time there?
Throughout my time here that I've been with the whole time, well, I'd say Dylan Brown, obviously, from the time he stepped on the field as a freshman, he's had that role solidified. Kind of the whole defense, honest. Like we're all just so tight knit. We do everything together. Off-season lifts, we're always there. We keep each other accountable. But if I had to say one person like that stood out to me the most would be Gage Tim,
Gotcha.
linebacker. He just it just comes naturally to him. I've never seen somebody study so much film and just know where to be, what formation they're going to be in, and he'll always get us in the right spots on game day.
Gotcha. And another thing that I just kind of want to draw attention to is, again, oftentimes, at, you know, lesser schools. I mean, I know that that's a
Yeah.
terrible say, but like Division II, Division III, NAIA schools. One of the things that might be a challenge at times is like the program, the strength program. Sometimes to me, like when I look at it, there isn't as much attention to it. How would you respond to that kind of, I guess, criticism? How has that been for you over the years?
I'm gonna sound biased here. I think it's one of the best in the nation. We have a great facility, and we just got a new strength coach last year, Jake Anderson, and he's been nothing but great.
So, kind of along those lines, man, what do you feel is your best lift?
Right now, I'd say rear squat.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you want to drop a PR for me or what?
The most I've ever done for a single rep was like 5'10".
That's pretty solid. It's
Yeah.
pretty solid.
It's
So,
a
I mean,
long
we
way
got
down.
we got to boast what we got, man. So let's boast what we
I
got.
appreciate it.
Which obviously, if you're able to get these squats in, I mean, obviously that's something challenging at times for guys your size to do because I
Yeah.
mean you aren't just a 6'1" defensive lineman.
Mhm.
You're a guy with some length. And so you got to
Yeah.
get down there to get that squat completely done
Yeah, it's a long
versus
way.
some of these other guys.
It's a long way
Um,
down there.
so yeah, so again, you had mentioned a lot of people, obviously some new coaches coming in there, a lot of great
Mhm.
teammates as well. When we look at some of the people that have influenced you over your time, whether it be teammates, friends, coaches, who has been maybe the best, or I guess your biggest influence as a guy who is an athlete who's trying to pursue the next level?
On my team, you're talking, or
Just overall, man, it could be team. coaches, or even friends and family?
Well, my biggest influence for sure was my father. He's been pushing me. He just knows when to push me and how to push me since day one. Um,
Okay.
and then professional athlete that I've always looked up to. Well, when I was younger, it was Clay Matthews when he was playing. But as of recent, I'd say I watch a lot of Kenny Clark and how he's handling double teams and how he's getting off the ball, and how he's making all these plays from the middle. And yeah, that's all I gotta say about that.
No, no, you're good. So, you had mentioned again your dad being a heavy influence for you.
Mhm.
So, was he a player? Did he play at all? This for the sport of football, or is he just
Yeah, he
a big
played. He was
motivator
a
for you?
really good athlete in high school, and then college hit, and then he was a kicker, and then he got hurt, and then he just never could come back from it.
So did he teach you how to kick the ball?
No,
No. He's
no,
like he's like I'm just gonna have this big guy and beat him. So and
yeah,
so hopefully he'll grow up to play a person on the line. So um, cool. So again, been at River Falls for a while. Been a part of a lot of great matchups. Oh,
Mhm.
what has been perhaps your best memory so far of maybe some of your competition there? Like, is there maybe a game or even a play that sticks out over the years for you?
Well, just this past Saturday, the game that really sticks out to me is we beat Stout in overtime at home. We were down, I think it was 27-6 at halftime. Then came back second half. We just played for ourselves.
Gotcha. You skipped ahead for me, man, but that's
Oh,
fine.
I'm
No, it's
sorry.
okay. I was gonna mention that one because that was the last one that I saw, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
geez, man, these guys bounced back, and really fought hard for that win. I mean, obviously started the season off very strong,
Mhm.
demolishing opponents. Hit the conference schedule, took a loss, unfortunately, but came back strong and really fought hard against Stout and you know, took a win in overtime, which is awesome.
Yeah, it
So,
was
uh,
huge.
how are you guys going to finish it out, man? I mean, what's how are you going to finish it out strong and ultimately, maybe win the conference, get to the playoff?
Yeah, we're just gonna keep working. We like to say we work in the mud. We do all the dirty work. But we just gotta keep playing these 1 week wars. We just gotta win out 1 week at
Yeah,
a
I
time.
mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, you,
Tough
you
league.
gotta you gotta step it up each and every week, and not take games off.
Nope.
That's all you have to do. Go out there
Hmm.
and do that. So, um, let's step off the field for a little bit. I mean, I want to get an opportunity to get to know this guy, Carson Steen. What is he like? What is he into? What are his hobbies? Does he have any special talents or anything crazy, fun facts or something that he wants to share? So, hit me with something, man.
All right. Well, I'm really into ice fishing, fishing in general, mainly ice fishing, but I do a lot of fishing in my free time.
So the one thing about ice fishing that gets me is, you're literally walking out on a lake and
Hmm.
making a hole. Like, is there any nerves in doing that? It would just kind of go up underneath of you and you'd end up like in a frozen lake.
Yeah, early season, there's a lot of scares because it's like you get that first layer of ice, and then the last few years it's gotten warm again, and that melts, and then there's a little bit left, and then it freezes again, and it's just not good ice. So I don't really trust the early season, but that's when the one of the best bites is. So
Well,
you
I
got to
mean,
flip a coin.
yeah, well, it is what it is. But hey, so again, just wanted to kind of maybe hit you with a couple of questions here or there, just to again, just for fun, really.
Okay.
So you said you were really big into ice fishing.
Hmm.
Are you much of an outdoors guy, or are you
Yeah.
so you do anything else like do you hunt on occasion? Like,
Hmm.
is that something that you try and do?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the last few years it hasn't been as much as before I was in college, but yeah, I try to get out duck, pheasant, or deer hunting every year.
So do you fancy yourself a good shot or what?
Ugh. Depends on the day, honestly.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
I've
Um,
hit some impressive shots over the years, but I mean, I still have my off days where I can't hit a duck.
so a guy that occasionally goes hunting, like, do you have a hunting dog?
No. A lot of my buddies do, but no, I do not.
I don't know, man. You're slacking in that area. You need a hunting dog. I know right now. Obviously very you know, it might be a little difficult to keep a pet, being a
Hmm.
student athlete with a lot of with a lot on your plate. So I
Absolutely.
understand.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing you a little bit with that. So
I got plans to have one eventually down the road.
all right, good, good. That sounds good. Uh, let's talk about your hometown, Big Lake, Minnesota.
No.
Um, Obviously, probably place to go ice fishing. But other than that, like, what's so special about your hometown, man? Is there something that you can maybe highlight?
It's just if you want to have a really good small town like hometown feel, go to Big Lake on a Friday or Saturday night. I mean, we got tons of restaurants to go to. We got a new one opened up on the lake. It's called Willie's on the Water. It's really nice. They got docks you can just pull your boat right up to and go up and get some food. I mean, it's just if I ever want to go home and get like a refreshing like feel of home, I just go home and spend a couple days there and I'm refreshed. I'm ready to come back to school.
Interesting. Willie's on the water. That sounds like the place to be. You
Yeah.
go home, you visit the family. What's your favorite home cooked meal that you like in?
I feel like it changes every year, but as of right now, it's I can't even think of one. I got too many.
Just anything that they put in front of you, or
I just
what?
like going home. Yeah, I mean getting home like nice home cooked steaks from my dad. My mom makes some really good cheesy potatoes.
There you go. I had to throw that out there. I know for some people that are in your region, like a lot of people
Mhm.
swear by like cheese curds.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's something. And also, again, regionally, some people are into other sports like
Mhm.
maybe some hockey or baseball. Do you fancy
Mhm.
yourself a fan of those sports?
Yeah, I like hockey. I played one season when I was younger and then I just never got back into it, but I enjoyed it. I like playing like pond hockey with my buddies though. That's a big
Gotcha.
thing around here.
So, are you a part of a particular fan base that you just kind of want to shout out, or what?
Not really. I'd say the Wild, but I mean, they can never win championships. It's love hate.
Well, definitely appreciate you being a loyal fan to the local team. So, but Carson, do need to wrap up our time. It's kind of been
Okay.
fun. Just wanted
Yeah.
to, shoot the breeze there for a little bit as we wrap things up. Again, a guy who I feel a lot of people really need to know, who plays in a very competitive conference, who offers great size and leadership along that defensive line. Carson, wrap things up for us, man. Tell all the scouts out there what they'd be getting if they took a chance on you and gave you an opportunity at the professional level. So close things out.
They would be getting a very disciplined, selfless, hardworking player. Just that's how I've always been. I'm always on time. I'm early. Get my body ready for practice every day. I watch film. I just whatever I got to do. Any opportunity I can get, I'll take.
Awesome. Well, Carson, I want to wish you all the best, man. I mean, you guys are what is it 5-1 or 6-1? I forget what the
5-1, I believe.
so 5-1 right now. So here's hoping for 6-1 and more this season. And everything else that you got going on in your life, man. Wish you all the best. All right.
Thank you very much.
No problem, man. You're welcome. Once again, I got with me Carson Steen, defensive lineman, Wisconsin River Falls. Check him out this season.